much of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures He chose us to be high. To Him we belong, to Him is our return. Life in this world is only a sojourn. To the angels He commanded that man be respected. Shaitan he did not, and so was he rejected. Compared to the angels, we are but clay. As long as Allah we obey, we'll not go astray.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our show, Islamic Law Today. Thank you for being with us, and I would like to thank Professor Muhammad Naim Saie, the professor in several universities in America, and a permanent member in the Fatwa Committee. And I would like to remind our viewers that they can communicate with us in the second and the third segment at 00202 38 555 248 or 249, and they can write to us at our email islamiclawtoday@huda.tv. Professor Muhammad, today is a very hot episode because we will talk about something that I'm sure that our viewers will find it very interesting. Last episode we were talking about the death of Osama bin Laden. We were talking about his ideology and at the same time the Islamic point of view of the mass massacre or the mass killing in Islam. Is it permissible or not? If you would like, if you please just remind our viewers with these 2 points before we continue in this hot topic that we have today.
Inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma ya Rabbana laka alhamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Subhanaka la nuhsi thana'an alayk anta kama athnayta ala nafsik. Allahumma inni as'aluka an tarfa'a al-bala'a 'an al-muslimin fi kulli makanin ya Rabbil Alameen. ارفع البلاء عن أهل الشام فلسطين ولبنان وسوريا والأردن، عن أهل مصر وأهل اليمن، وعن شمال إفريقيا في ليبيا والمغرب وتونس وسائر بلاد المسلمين. اللهم عاملنا بلطفك، عاملنا بخفي ألطافك، ألطف بنا وبالمسلمين فيما جرت به المقادير، ودبر لنا فإنا لا نحسن التدبير. عاملنا بفضلك وإحسانك يا رب العالمين، واجعل كلامنا هذا كله خالصا لوجهك الكريم. آمين اللهم آمين. We are talking the last episode about the ideology, regardless of the one who is carrying this ideology. Yes, we said that if Bin Laden was calling for so and so or believing in so and so, this is the Islamic law perspective on this point, on these ideas, on these ideologies. Now, regardless, suppose anyone was carrying this ideology or believing in this ideology, this is the Islamic law perspective. This is what Islamic law scholars, they can say, they can suggest, they can give their own perspective. And we said in the beginning that the absence of the Islamic or the Muslim state and its authority is a very important issue. No one can, from Islamic law perspective, declare war or jihad, because when you said war or jihad, this is similar. Jihad was like a classic, maybe old-fashioned term. Now they call it war. In our modern time, they call it the Ministry of Defense. A long time ago, they called it the Ministry of Jihad in Muslim state. It's like a word, but does represent the same meaning in our modern time.
So are you with that the translation of the word jihad means necessarily war, or there are different types?
No, I'm just talking about how they change the term from time to time.
I see.
Like when they said, like the Minister of Defense or Secretary of Defense, even he is declaring war, even he is starting a war, he is still Secretary of Defense, right?
Yes.
Even he is permitting his soldiers or maybe his army to attack or to invade, he is still under the term of defense. So in Islam, they call it jihad. Whether you are declaring war against some maybe state because they have declared war against you to bring back your right or return your land or to spread your message, they call it jihad. So regardless of the term or the terminology you are using right now, but unanimously among Muslim scholars, no one can declare any kind of this kind of action unless he's under the Muslim state and that state does have an authority. So when anyone does carry this ideology to declare war or jihad against other state and he is not under that Muslim state, he does not have this authority, this is the first thing he is missing from the whole issue of jihad or maybe legalizing or legitimizing his actions. Second, we talk about the mass killing. In Islam, we don't accept, we don't agree, we reject the mass killing, mass destructions. We've been ordered, we've been commanded to show mercy in every action in our life toward anything, even toward, as we said the last episode, if you'd like to kill a sheep or goat, you've been commanded to show the best of your morale, the best of your mercy toward even this animal. I just remember a story, a very authentic story from the Prophet ﷺ. He was talking about one of the prophet long time ago before him ﷺ, just to emphasize on the meaning of that we don't have the extremism in anything in our Islam, regardless maybe our actions, our sayings, always we go in a justice way, in a very legitimate way. Even if you'd like to take revenge or maybe declare war or return back your right, you have to be within the frame of justice. So when a prophet, as the Prophet said, he was laying down under a tree and ant bite him. He was bited by an ant. And he got very angry, so he commanded his soldiers to burn the whole village of ant because of that bite of one ant. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept that, subhanahu wa ta'ala, even coming from a prophet. Even it does appear to be a very legitimate. It's like animal or insect, small creatures. No one maybe can notify it or feel about what's the feeling of this maybe ant in that village. And the bite was taking place. And a prophet, he has very maybe special status to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But even though Allah did not accept this, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to this prophet, because of one ant, you have commanded your soldiers to burn the whole village of ant. What if we just say just one ant? You suppose or you should just kill one ant instead or burning the whole village, because it's one bite equal one ant. You cannot make it just and fair and legitimate to burn the whole village of the ant. This is in Islam. This is from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what if someone was make it a legitimate action to kill maybe hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands people because he would like to target one person and maybe two or three, or maybe he's believing that he's doing the just maybe action toward his belief. It is not acceptable from Islamic law point of view. The second thing, that innocent people, we made it very clear the last episode. In Islam, we don't legitimize killing an innocent person. Every person to be targeted as a legitimate target when you are at war, he has to be under the category of fighters. Kids, children, women, old people, worshippers, priest, rabbi, you are not allowed, it's not permissible in Islam to kill or to target these people. And let these people, they hold a weapon and start to fight against you. In that case, you are allowed to fight these people back. One time, if you remember, Sayyidina Muaz, he was in the battlefield, and he was fighting someone, and that person, he declared his Shahada. He said, I believe in La ilaha illallah, I believe that there is God but Allah, and the Prophet Muhammad is his messenger. He did not believe what he said.
He thought that he is tricking him.
Yes. So Sayyidina Muaz killed him. The Prophet was very, very angry. Did you kill him after he said that? Did you kill him after he said that? And he said, and the Prophet was keep telling this and saying this till I wish that I did not become Muslim at that moment. Then the Prophet, he considered him as a Muslim, the murdered person.
Yes.
Considered him as someone killed unjustly. And he gave compensate his family because of this wrong killing.
Which will open, when you talk about justice and injustice and justice in Islam, that opened the door to me to ask you, when it comes to the story, because we are talking about what happened with Osama bin Laden and so on. In Islam, if we put a Muslim country in the place of America, for example, and they caught the person who did that to them, if we are talking about if America is a Muslim country, as Islamic point of view, is that justice what they have done, that they kill someone without put him in trial? Is that will be just? Is that will be justified in Islamic point of view?
Well, let us put it this way. If anyone claim that this person is a guilty person, and they accused him by many maybe crimes he committed in their belief, and they have a system to prove his guilt and to prove their claim.
Yes.
It is very logical to suggest that this person has to be tried, and then we find out what the result is going to be. After you try that person, put it in the court, and let him defend himself and make his case. It did not happen because of some other maybe reasons they believe in. They found that it is not for the best interest for the United States of America to bring him to court and let him say what he believes. Maybe this is the case, I don't know. But I mean, just to answer the question, just you refer to the system they have. If this is the system they have, they should apply it, regardless of the person they are accusing. And we remember, and I did, watch the other day, Michael Moore, the CNN.
Yes.
And he was bringing this issue to the surface. And he said, American, they become American, and America becomes America. What is right now? Because of the justice, because of the fairness, because always they bring justice to everyone, and to make everyone able to bring his case, defend himself, till the other maybe claim will be approved or to be proved. And he brought the example of Nazis after the Second War. They brought him to the court. Mm-hmm. Even they were believing that these people, they had mass killings, and they were torturing. They have evidence and proof and everything. But they want just to prove to everyone in the world that this is the way we do it. We bring these people to their court, and we show everyone that what we claim is right. So what the difference between Nazis and this person was killed? Even they said that he was unarmed. I believe that the system should be applied regardless of the person we are talking about.
This is obviously true, that the system has to be applied regardless who is the person. what really makes a big question mark that till now, even after the death of Osama bin Laden, I'm not with or against Osama bin Laden. I'm just here. We are here to put the spotlight from the Islamic point of view about the situation, what's going on around. He did not, even before his death, he did not ever admit that he did it. He just glorified September 11, which is something, of course, from the Islamic point of view, we should not glorify the action of what happened in 9/11 because it's a terrible thing. But does not necessarily means that he is behind it, which till now we have something in Islam that the person is innocent till you can prove otherwise. Is this an Islamic point of view, or this is something that the modern civilization come up with?
This is something unanimously agreed on among all the maybe lawmakers and those in the field of justice. Everyone is innocent until you prove his guilt. But I don't want just to be in the situation of defending a specific person. We're just talking about general system and general principles and values. But let me just elaborate on the very important issue of the killing of bin Laden. Bin Laden was maybe a name, person, but he was carrying an ideology.
Yes.
According to the information you have through media, through a lot of maybe means, this is the most important thing we should focus on right now. How something like this did successfully take a place in the surface of the modern life, in the mind of many Muslims.
Are you talking about the ideology
Yes,
itself?
the ideology.
Okay. Can we go for a quick break and we'll come back and we'll continue this topic? We'll go for a quick break. If you can call us, you can call us at 00202 3855 248 or 249. We will be waiting for your calls. Thank you. Keep in touch.
Which of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures, He chose us to be high.
You have questions that bother you. What about issues of concern to you? Would you like to share things on your mind with us? Are you interested in solutions based on an Islamic perspective? Please join me live in Meet Your Advisor every Friday at 9 p.m. Mecca time, here on Huda TV.
How to be proactive in Islam, how to serve our religion, how to serve our life.
No, we want them to be proactive in matters that are related to their ummah. The true leader, and this is maybe we need to have this, okay, among us as Muslims. The true leader is the one who creates leaders.
So the society at the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave the chance for the children to blossom.
Now who took the reward of this? The initiative of Ali bin Abi Talib. Ali bin Abi Talib took the reward because of his initiative.
How long have you been passive? How much time have you lost in your life because of negativity? Learn how to take conscious control over your life. Set your goals and work to achieve them in an Islamic way.
If you really love your wife, your children, your parents, your people, then you have to do your utmost. You have to do whatever you can in order to invite them to Islam. We are in need for this reminder. The main point is ikhlas, is sincerity, is what I want to get in the hereafter.
Join Sheikh Haytham Al-Haddad and his host, Muhammad Abdurrahim, in this inspiring show.
Which of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures, He chose us to be high.
Welcome back. Just a reminder, if you would like to contact us in this segment and the next segment, you can call us at 00202 3855 248 or 249. Before going to the break, Professor Muhammad, you were talking about why this ideology has come to the surface in this modern time. Why? Why it was not existed before that?
And this is what we should focus on as a Muslim scholars, as people they have interest in the Islamic maybe work. Everyone who is concerned about human beings, the whole mankind, civilizations, principles, values, you should focus on this issue. And what does bother me in many cases, that instead of going deeper to search for the root of this phenomenon, we are just trying to treat the case we have. Like you are a doctor and you have an emergency maybe case, or you have a maybe medical case, and instead of just make some research and to study what is the cause of this medical case, in order to not just treat that patient, to treat anyone maybe has the same disease, or maybe someone in the future might have the same disease. You are just focusing on the one case.
On the symptoms.
Yes. In Islam, always we go to the root. And Islam, by its principles, always solve the problem from its root. When we say like Islam does prohibit adultery, prohibited stealing, prohibited killing, and just killing, Islam solved the problems of someone having this instinct of killing someone or maybe stealing his money from the root by spreading justice, fairness, and make everyone is able to make his living in a very decent way. Islam to spread modesty in the society, help men and women to achieve their goal, accomplish their mission in their life, away from temptation, attractions, all of this. This is Islamic way. So what I found that what does make this thought and ideology to come to the surface or modern life, the first cause of this, and that will be very maybe surprising maybe analysis, I'm calling upon everyone in this world, including the Western government, to help to see in our modern time the Muslim state and Muslim authorities. Because the absence of Muslim state and Muslim authority is the first cause, the first reason of having all this chaos in the Islamic thought. To find someone believe that he is right and others are wrong. To have more than maybe 100 or maybe 200 Muslim groups with different thought and ideologies. And everyone believe that he is the only person who does carry the right thought. And you cannot stop. You are not in control of the Muslim thought in this world. Whether they were in the East or they are in the West, there's no authorities. There's no reference. There's no state to say this is what Islam believes and this is the Muslim scholars believe. Their job is to, within the Muslim state and Muslim authority, to put the fundamental issues in Islam, to point out what Islam believes in regarding of the belief, your practice, in the section of worshipping, the section of dealing with others, and would come to the issue of having some disagreement among Muslim scholars. The Muslim state job is to finish this dispute or conflict among Muslim scholars and to say we are going to adopt one of these opinions because the general interest or the public interest or maybe the best interest for the Muslim state and everyone in this world is to adopt this opinion. This is the job of the Muslim authorities. You don't have all of this. In that case, it is a free land. everyone is allowed to say what he believes and to call for whatever he believes, and he's able to collect some means to support his idea. He's able to bring people to his side. That will be not a problem in our modern time.
Yes, but some people will tell you that there is already one, maybe, or two Muslim countries that are applying the Islamic laws, and we didn't see any of what you say.
Well, I think you are intending to put me in the corner in that question. No, I don't believe that we have any Muslim country that's applied the Islam completely and totally. We don't have.
We don't have?
We do not have. Let me just say it in English, We do not have any Muslim country that's applied Islam as a total, as a complete system. We have some, maybe partially, practice for some Islamic rules. As we said in the different maybe or other episodes, Islam is a package. You cannot apply part of it and leave the rest of it. You cannot apply or choose. It's not like a selective application for Islam. You have to apply it in a full. You have to apply everything in this Islam, because every part of Islam does help each other to bring the goal and the aim of application of this perfect and beautiful system Allah has made for the whole mankind. You cannot say that a Muslim state when you are legalizing a bunch of people to have the most of the wealth of the country. People are living not just in one palace. I know as a fact, some people in a Muslim country, they claim that they are a Muslim country, they have tens of palaces. Where many people, they don't have just one home as someone own his home. Some people, they don't have clean water. They don't have a sewage system. Others, they are living in the many palaces. They don't have healthy water when someone in his palace, he has his own
swimming pools, and
he has his own machine to clarify the water from the sea. This is not Islam. Islam is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot put it in a drawer, in a shelf, and just claim that you have applied your Islam.
So you say that the solution to solve the problem of this ideology being existed is the absence of the reason why this ideology came up to the surface is because of the absence of the Muslim or the Islamic state that applies the Islamic law, all of it in one package.
This is one of the reasons.
One of the reasons.
This is one of the maybe most important reason. But if someone said that we don't have a Muslim state right now, should we just say it is legal right now to have these ideologies, this extremism, radicalism, fanatism, all of this? No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the Islamic principles from Islamic law point of view, even if you don't have Islamic or Muslim state or Muslim authorities, you are not allowed to break the Islamic rules. As long as you are in the situation of being able to do or not to do. If you are forced to do something, it's a different story. But if you are in the situation of being able to do or not to do, you'll be responsible. You'll be held accountable for any action you are committing, regardless if you are in a Muslim state or you are in a different state. And that's why Islam said, even if you are a Muslim and you have a Muslim state, but you are traveling to some other place, you are visiting, you've been invited in some non-Muslim state, is that should be an excuse for you to break the Islamic rules? And that was going on. Unfortunately, in many Western countries, Muslims, they go to these Western countries, they legalize for themselves, believing that this is non-Muslim state, so we are free to steal, to break the law, because they are not Muslims. Islam told us to be Muslim everywhere you are, because you are on the surface of the earth belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're under the heaven Allah created subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Everywhere
Subhanahu wa ta'ala.
You were talking about the ideology. Let me go back to the ideology, and I'm sure that you have a background about this type of ideology, that it's, I would not say only conservative, but too conservative to the point of extremism. Do you think this type of ideology would adopt an idea when it comes to war, that it's okay for someone who will make an operation next day, excuse me, next day, like bombing something or killing, or he will be dead next day, that he can go to the bar and drink alcohol and, you know, be with women and commit adultery, and next day commit what they call it, suicide operation? Is there something in Islam that says, okay, to trick your enemy, you can do something that major sin, and next day when you do such thing, everything will be forgiven? Do you think this type of ideology permit this kind of actions?
Well, I'm rejecting the first suggestions that a person, suppose he has a Muslim state and they are at war with some other state. Is he allowed to go to this country where they have war with it and try to make some mass killing in this state? I'm talking about non-Muslim state.
Yes.
And just to achieve his goal or accomplish his mission to break the Islamic rules, as you suggest, you said. Well, even if you have Muslim state and you are allowed to be at war with some other state, like any country in the world, they are at war with some other country for any reason. In Islam, we don't legitimize someone, he entered that country legally to mess with the blood or properties or souls or anything belong to the people of this state. The same way he entered that state legally, respecting the rules of that country, he has to live the same way. He's not permitted. He will not be allowed from Islamic law point of view to do any damage or cause any killing to the people of this state. But let me just jump to that point. Is it permissible in Islamic law to break the Islamic rules? Suppose you are at war, you are in the battlefield, and the only way is to achieve your goal or accomplish your mission is to commit adultery. You'd like to take some information from some ladies. Let us put it this way. So you said the only way to take this secret to achieve my goal is to commit adultery with this lady, so I could take some information from her. This is not Islamic, this is shaitanic.
Okay, this is satanic.
Yeah,
not Islamic.
Yeah, we'll put it in like sheen, in Arabic, just to be like famous now. Shaitanic and satanic. It is not Islamic. And we did say before, and we did say it again and again, we'll say it again and again, in Islam, you are commanded to watch Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and follow His rules, whether you are going to your goal or you are trying to bring some means to achieve your goal. So you have to be a worshipper in your intention and in your actions, in your goal, in your method of achieving your goal.
So by this, what you say, you mean that there is no one single opinion?
No, it's unanimously.
Unanimously.
No
one single opinion in any Muslim scholar that permit anyone to drink alcohol and next day to trick his enemies and next day do something terrible. And okay. Okay, we will go for a quick break. Please stay with us.
Which of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures, He chose us to be high.
In your standpoint of view, Are there specific or certain criteria to choose your spouse or a partner, to marry or not to marry? Maybe that's the question. Do we revise the quality of performance of our treatment between the family members as fathers or mothers? As they say usually, it's not what you say, it's how would you say it. Wouldn't you like to be a good storyteller for your kids? Neurobiologically speaking, child abuse and emotional trauma causes scars in the brain of the child, and this might be not easily healing. What's the exact job description of a father? Is it clothing, payments and feeding, or other important things? Well, I think the job description of a father is merely giving him love and care, self-confidence, giving him sense of security, and checking for the points of strengths to strengthen them. What about potty training and its planning? Oh yeah, actually, it's a state, it's a condition. Fatherhood is not a body or a person, it's a state. Are you a good or skillful designer for the policy and the long-term plans of the life of your kids? Join us every Wednesday for family issues.
Dear viewers, Hoda programs can be watched in the English section of the in-flight entertainment directory on board all Saudi airline flights, domestic and international. Sit back, relax and enjoy watching Hoda's entertaining and enlightening shows on your trip. Hoda wishes you a safe and successful journey. Hoda, a light in every home.
Which of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures, He chose us to be high.
Welcome back. Just a reminder, you can call us at 00202 3855 248 or 249. Before going to the break, Professor Muhammad, we were talking about the ideology, and you said that unanimously it's not permissible for anyone, any Muslim, to do something very haram, very unlawful, to get a piece of information and consider it as a way to trick his enemies or anything from this kind of things. By the way, is it permissible in Islam to bury someone in the sea?
Returning back to the Bin Laden issue. All right. Well, among Muslim scholars, unanimously again, burying someone in the sea, it is only on the necessity. When you are in a necessity case, you are not able to bury the person in normal way. Suppose that you are in the sea and you are not able to reach the shore, and it's going to take a long time, and we've been commanded to respect the dead person and to rush his funeral, and we are afraid that if we just wait, his body will be composed, and that will be disrespectful for his funeral. In that case, we are able to bury him in the sea. But if you are allowed, or if you are able to bury him in your soil, and to give him normal, respectful burial and funeral, you are not allowed to bury him in the sea.
Okay, going back to the ideology and the tricking part in Islam, what is permissible if the Muslim wants to trick his enemy in a war? What is permissible that he can do? What is it, and what are the guidelines?
So let's say again that from Islamic law point of view, unanimously you are not allowed to commit a major sin to get to your goal if you are in the stage of war. But you are allowed to maybe give false information if you are forced maybe to admit you are being captured as prisoner of war, and they ask you, the enemy, for some information regarding your maybe country, your state, your army, anything like this. From Islamic law point of view, you are allowed to lie And this is not just in Islam. This is in every, maybe military rules.
Yes.
You are allowed to not say the truth. Even you must lie at that time.
Yes.
Unanimity among all military rules. This is Islamic, because this is like necessity case to give false information or to hide the truth, because giving the truth will cause a big damage. And it's like a balancing between something good and something bad, harmful things and useful things. Saying the truth is very useful, very healthy. But saying the truth, if that will cause, will reach, or will make a big damage because of your truthful statement, in that case you are allowed, or you must, to be just accurate, not say the truth. But you are not allowed to commit adultery or drink wine or to steal money or to be like a
no, they were going to the bar, drinking alcohol, and commit adultery, and next day they commit
totally
9/11, which really raised a big question mark about what kind of ideology is this.
No, this is an Islamic.
Un-Islamic, and I don't think this is the same type of ideology that this type of people will carry, to be honest with you.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just, I could, judge the actions. I can judge people because I don't know specifically. And again, just when we said that if this is being referred to Bin Laden or someone else, we said if this is the case, this is the Islamic law point of view.
Yes.
In many cases, you are not in the position to make sure that what you are watching or hearing or listening, and this is the 100% the true statement, or maybe the true video or audio or tape or anything like this. And I said on many occasions, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes punish the people in different means, just to give a message, wake up message. I believe that because of this, the spreading of the falsehood in our time, the absence of truth, we are very advanced people, right? We go to the moon, and we have space shuttles. We go from place to another place within hours. Human beings are very advanced right now.
We have a call from Sheikh Yusuf Estes. He's with us right now. Sheikh Yusuf, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a pleasure to have a chance to talk with you. Very proud of the show, very happy to have a program like this. And I'm also happy that Huda is working so hard to get this message out in English.
Exactly.
This is the way to go. I'm very, very pleased about this subject. You guys make me so happy, and especially because you can talk about topics that are important right now, and because the people can call in, like I'm calling in right now, and be able to express their interests and their ideas. You guys, mashallah, I make huge dua for you. You can't believe. And in America, we're bringing Huda TV over there through Guide Us TV, so you're going to be talking to another 200 million people, and we hope, inshallah, Allah accept from all of us. Keep up this beautiful work.
Allahumma ameen. Jazakallah kullu khair. Thank you for this
Sheikh
call.
Yusuf, let us see you if you are in Egypt, inshallah. That would be my pleasure, inshallah.
Actually, you might not know this, but I'm actually in Cairo, Egypt right now.
MashaAllah.
I'm not very far from you.
Allah,
and
Allah.
inshallah, we'll be able to do some things live while we're here for the next couple of days. We want everybody to know about something real exciting that Huda is doing, and we're real proud of them too. So be sure to tell everybody to keep watching all the shows on Huda, and watch for me, Yusuf Estes. I'll be live, and we'll just, one more time, Dr. Muhammad, I tell you, may Allah bless you and always guide you to say the right thing at the right time. Ameen.
Ameen. Jazakallah khair. You keep your dua, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That's a nice, surprising caller. So, going back to the topic, we have few minutes left. In quick answer, what is the difference and when it's permissible for someone to sacrifice himself in a military operation, like he knows that he was going to die, is that permissible? I'm talking about a legitimate war here. Not terrorist action or anything, or killing civilians. When it's permissible to do this and when it's not permissible?
Well, this is a very important issue. And I did write on this issue in my very new book, الجامع في القواعد والضوابط والمقاصد الفقهية. I think I'm working on translate this book, inshallah ta'ala. I did mention this issue and put it under a rule, Islamic law rule, when it's permissible for Muslim to cause the killing of himself, and what is not permissible. And we said just very briefly, generally speaking, you are not permitted, it's not permissible in Islam from Islamic law point of view to cause a killing for yourself. This is generally speaking.
Yes.
Unless you are making yourself a reason for the living of others. You are making yourself a cause for better and highest maybe goal and aim and interest, not for yourself, for others.
Like saving others' life.
You are saving others' lives. You are preventing mass killings of Muslims or innocent people. You are giving yourselves instead of having your brother to be killed.
Wait a minute. You made a differentiation now. You said when you save Muslims, and then you said prevent innocent people. When you mean innocent people, you mean even if they are not Muslims, you can
suppose you are on a plane.
Okay.
I think this issue has to be discussed in maybe better range
Inshallah,
of time.
We can have a
because very important issue.
Yes.
Suppose, just very quickly, suppose you are on a plane. You are going from Egypt, from Cairo to Chicago. And most of the people in the plane are non-Muslims. And you found a person carrying a gun. And he's just about to kill someone. Or maybe having a bomb. Just about to explode and have mass killings in this plane. From Islamic point of view, if you are able to prevent that action to be happened and to save the lives of these innocent people, it will be very, very Islamic. That will be very good and brave work from Islamic law point of view.
Even if you are the only Muslim person in this
Yes.
airplane.
Yes. Because Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَمَنْ أَحْيَاهَا فَكَأَنَّمَا أَحْيَا النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. You know, my skin is numb right now. من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. If you are killing one person, as if you are killing the whole mankind, and if you are able to save one life, as if that you are saving the lives of the whole mankind. This is very Islamic principle. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to see that day when we are able to spread Islamic principles and values in the best way, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. So now this is when it's permissible. Now, when it's not permissible?
Before I just answer this point, just to remind our audience, it's not just in Islam. In any military rules, in any nation belief, they have this. To be a hero, to sacrifice yourself to save others, right?
Yes.
In the battlefield or maybe some other place. You know, firefighters, sometimes they lose their life to save others, right?
Yes.
They are not at war. They are saving some other lives. Sometimes, doctors at war, they lose their life to save other lives, right?
Yes.
Sometimes these kind of reporters from different maybe media, just to transfer the truth, they are losing their life to save the truth, and that might help to save lives of others. It's very big meanings. It's not just from Islamic point of view, from, I could say, from human being point of view. When you have that big value, big principle, and you put yourself at risk, your soul at risk, just to achieve that very high goal, not for yourself, for others, it is permissible. But it is not permissible to kill yourself out of desperation or maybe losing your hope or your belief because you gave up. You have nothing to do in life. You have no hope. You have no dream. You have no belief. You have no strength. And he said, maybe the shortest way to finish all of these tragedies I'm living with is to kill myself. This is what Islam does not agree, does not accept. But if you are putting yourself in the front to save others, to execute very high principles and values regarding others, this will be very Islamic. And we know from the history, Muslims, they brought this and they come up with this belief from the Prophet ﷺ life, from the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, biographies when they are in the battlefield. Some of them used to go within a very crowded soldiers, enemy, and he knows that if he did go that way, put himself as a single person among maybe 100 of swords and spears and arrows and everything, most likely
he will be dead.
He will be dead. Yeah. But he did that for a big, high reasons.
I see.
To be continued, inshallah.
Inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. I would like to thank Professor Muhammad Naeem Saie for being with us. You can communicate with us and contact to us through our email, islamiclawtoday@hoda.tv. Again, Professor Muhammad, thank you for being with us and sharing your knowledge with us.
Just asking our audience, viewers, to make dua for us, inshallah.
Inshallah, Allahumma ameen. And inshallah, we will continue this the same topic and more in more depth, inshallah, next week. So please watch us and wait for us next week. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Which of Allah's favors can we deny? Above all creatures He chose us to be high. To Him we belong, to Him is our return. Life in this world is only a sojourn. To the angels He commanded that man be respected. Shaitan he did not, and so was he rejected. Compared to the angels, we are but clay. As long as Allah we obey, we'll not go astray. As the best of His creation, only us did He deem. This for us is honor, this high esteem. His qudrat it is that cause winds to blow. He gives us provision